The title of the research article that I critiqued is Digital Divides, Student and Staff Perceptions of Information and Communication Technologies. This research study was conducted in June of 2009 in Australia. This is a qualitative research study. That means that the information collected will be descriptive and emotionally motivated rather than statistical. The findings in this study attempt to question the assumptions that have been made about the digital divide as it regards to age disparity. That assumption being that persons of different generations will have different experiences when using technology. And because we're looking at two specific generations in this study, they use that. However, both generations are using technology in the context of higher learning. The research question for the study had 5 parts. Inquiries were made about what technologies students and staff used in everyday life, how those technologies are used, how technologies are used in higher education, the benefits of using technologies in higher education, the limitations of using technologies in higher education. The questions were used to identify the beliefs about the limitations and benefits the generations put on technology in the learning context. The findings in this study resulted in there being no significant difference between faculty and students when it came to their beliefs regarding the benefits and limitations of technology in the context of course instructions. They believe some of the benefits to be instant access to resources, communication and the ability to facilitate discussions, and then the ability to be able to review courses and course materials easily. They cited limitations as losing face-to-face contact, missed communications, access to the online or technology materials, and then the ability to use those tools or materials. Implications of this study were that because of the similarities in responses, higher learning could have possibly neutralized the effects of the digital divide, or perhaps the digital divide no longer exists when it comes to uses in technology. Another implication is that the student and faculties have similar expectations for technology incorporated into instruction. This information is useful to instructors who may be considering the inclusion of technology into their course design. Some of the limitations of the study were that, one, it is qualitative data, so it is emotionally and belief-driven data rather than statistical. Two, there was a small sample size of 77 people, all from 3 universities in Australia, and these 77 people were selected by volunteering, so it was a convenience study. That's also a limitation. Lastly, there was no consistency in the delivering of the questions and doing the audio interviews for this study. 12 subjects received individual interviews, and then 65 subjects were interviewed in a focus group setting. So all of those things would limit the validity of the study and narrow the scope of the findings.